Welcome to the SVG-TV News and Sports for Friday, September 8th. I am Khalil Kato with the details. Yesterday, Parliament gave approval to the Citizenship Amendment Bill 2023, which seeks to offer second-generation Vincentians the chance to acquire citizenship without the requirement of physical residency on the island. In presenting the bill, Prime Minister Dr. Alf Gonzalez said it shows a significant modification to the citizenship law, which came into effect in early 1984.
Amendment will facilitate the addition of subsections 2 to 5 for the registration of descendants of citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines up to the second generation. Accordingly, the Minister may consider for registration an applicant who was born outside of St. Vincent and Grenadines and who has a parent or grandparent who was a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The applicant must not be qualified for registration as a citizen otherwise and must be of good character. I referred, Madam Speaker, to the wording of Clause 2, Sub 2. The Minister may cause to be registered as a citizen a person who makes an application under this section for registration. If that person A was born outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and has a parent or grandparent who was at the time of his birth a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. B is not entitled to be registered as a citizen under the Constitution, this Act, or any other law enforced in St. Vincent and Grenadines, and is of good character. The provisions in this important Clause 2 makes in Sub 3 there, a person who makes an application under Section 2 shall submit his application to the Minister together with the applicable fees prescribed in the 3rd schedule and any of the following documents as the Minister considers necessary. A, copies of his birth certificate and passport. B, certified copies of documents relevant to his application, including birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates, certificates of registration or naturalization, or any other certificate or evidence of citizenship of his parent, grandparent, and other relevant persons. C, police record check or a certificate of police clearance. And if the Minister thinks fit, and 4, the Minister or a person designated by the Minister may make arrangements to interview the applicant or any person connected with an application made under subsection 2. And sub 5, a person qualified to be registered under subsection 2 may not be registered unless he takes the oath of allegiance as specified in section 17, but the Minister may waive the duty to take the oath for certain categories of persons.
Prime Minister Gonzalez noted that the bill was before a select committee and what has emerged is a better drawn bill, working out a number of practical issues.
Speaker, I was asked in the select committee why at this time to bring this bill. And my answer was very simple, that there is no specific occurrence. In a sense, it's the maturation of a process where people over the years have been asking second generation Vincentians, persons who would be second generation Vincentians, not as citizens but as particularly the children, the grandchildren of Vincentian parents. And they have been asking, well, can we have the opportunity to apply for citizenship without the onerous provisions of naturalization? That is to say, 7-year period, or in certain circumstances 5 years. I want to point out, Madam Speaker, that this makes a distinction between those persons who are born of a Vincentian parent overseas. If you're born of a Vincentian parent overseas, you automatically at birth get citizenship under the Constitution, under the existing law. But this one, as it points out, will create the opportunity. It's not an entitlement to be registered, but it is an opportunity to make the application to be registered without the usual time period for naturalization.
Responding to concerns that the initiative has the potential to result in an influx of people relocating to SVG, PM Gonzalez told Parliament that he does not see it as a flood, but more so a trickle, noting that it has been the experience that only a few of the children of persons entitled to birth at citizenship actually come here. Agreeing that the bill is an important piece of legislation, Opposition Leader Dr. Godwin Friday, however, noted that it requires careful consideration and understanding on the part of members of Parliament and the general public in relation to its implication, but he believes that most people will welcome it. While noting that their members participated in the Selects Committee and knew what the bill was about, the opposition leader told Parliament that they would have wanted to be given the opportunity to go through the final draft of the bill to see if recommendations made were included. Nevertheless, they will still give their full support to the bill, given its importance.
I know it doesn't matter what technical objections we raised here today. The government side of the House has a majority and they will proceed with it. So, I will give my colleagues and I give our support to this bill, as we did. The indications were in the Central Committee, in the Select Committee meetings. It is, Madam Speaker, a matter that has arisen a number of times. I practice law and I've done a number of issues relating to persons' citizenship and persons with lineage here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines questioning the law as it is now. So the expansion, which is what this does, to persons whose grandparent is a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to be entitled to apply to be registered as a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Which he asked about, and it was a perfect history.
And I recall it a suggestion I made in the Central Committee that it should be expanded to include persons whose parents were not just born in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but were citizens by other means as well, similar to those as a grandparent, and that was accepted. I'm assuming that's here. Madam Speaker, the importance of this for persons who are living abroad, who have some were born abroad but have very strong ties and connection to this country, and may choose, because it's not automatic for persons who acquire it through a grandparent, that those persons may choose to apply to were recognized as citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I think, Madam Speaker, that for those persons who have that interest, and many of those who have raised it with me, it would be a lot easier for me to explain. I'm much more happy for them to have heard from me that those persons are no longer excluded from applying. They still have to apply, but they would not have to go through the lengthy process of waiting for a long period of time to qualify, either through naturalization or if they became citizens by other means.
The opposition leader said he would also want to see the amendments to the bill help to enhance ties and commitments among persons in the diaspora who may look to SVG not just as a country of their parents or grandparents, but as their country.
As their country, those persons who are young and productive and they wish to come back and take up employment here, to invest here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to use the skills and trainings they have acquired in those countries where they currently reside or where they were born, and to bring it, to apply it here for the benefit of our country. We do, Madam Speaker, need that injection of skill, talent, training, capital, money, resources, to help our country to continue to develop in a way that we would like to see it move forward, Madam Speaker, so that it enhances opportunity for all of us and encourages faster growth. We are not a magnet country like, say, the United States, where they attract the brightest and the best from all over the world simply by the opportunities that they provide there. And they can be a lot more selective in who they accept and whom they do not. Countries like Canada, places in the UK, and so forth. So we are utilizing what is available to us, that's the way I see it in any event, to seek to attract such persons as well, to lend their talent and their treasure to the further development of our country.
The leasing agreement for fisheries facilities across St. Vincent and the Grenadines has ended, and Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries Saboto Caesar told Parliament yesterday that the government will be seeking a new lessee for the Kanawon fishing facility. Minister Caesar was responding to a question from an opposition MP who expressed concern with the condition of the Kanawon facility. Caesar noted that 6 years ago, the policy decision was taken by Cabinet to seek the establishment of a public-private partnership platform to fully operationalize the fisheries facilities, and that at the Kanawon fishing facility, a conflict developed between the lessee and other persons utilizing it.
We advertised these facilities and several persons came forward. Someone came forward for the leasing of Kanawon. However, there was a conflict which developed between the potential lessee and several persons who were utilizing the facility as a fishing camp, because they were fishing on other islands and they were using it as a campsite. The issue was not resolved to the extent that we were seeking to have the facility rehabilitated and repaired so that it can be used as a fishing facility for consolidation and eventually for export. The lease agreements for all the other facilities have now expired. So we are currently at the stage where we are now going to put again for public consumption the leasing of facilities, and the facility in Kanawon would be advertised again, and we hope to close that process by the end of October of this year.
Noting that the fisheries complex in Kanawon is not being used at the moment for its intended purpose, Minister Caesar said if there is no potential lessee, the government will have to repair the facility and bring it under a similar arrangement like the Kingstown Fisheries Center.
Worst case scenario, there's no one coming forward to lease the facility, then we'll have to repair the facility and bring it under a similar arrangement. That's how we have the arrangement for Kingstown, like Kingstown went to the input warehouse. Currently, the Calaqua facility has been managed and operated by the Fisheries Division, but it is not in the best interest for the government to run and operate fisheries centers. We are here to create the enabling environment, and if persons are listening, it is your job, your duty, your obligation in the private sector. When we advertise for you to apply, and we will provide the concessions so that you can utilize these facilities. It is intended, best case, that persons will come forward and lease the facility. And we intend before the end of the year, if we have someone lease the facility for construction work to begin. And as I noted earlier, if we do not have anyone from the private sector coming forward, it will be in the budget for 2024.
With planet Earth said to be experiencing the hottest 3 months ever recorded, according to the United Nations, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment is urging members of the Vincentian public to take the necessary precautions to protect themselves and families against the unusual weather conditions which can affect their health. The advice comes from Chief Health Promotions Officer Shanika Brown, who on NBC Radio's Face-to-Face program this morning said persons should ensure that they stay hydrated during the humid conditions. She, however, advises persons to drink water rather than drinks with added sugar.
What we want people to do is to be mindful, to stay hydrated. Those persons who don't like water, You have to
liking it.
find ways. So some people would add fruits to their water. Maybe if you want to add a little lemon, if you can take it. Some persons I know would add like a little bit of pink salt to their water to kind of add a little flavor. I'm not advising any of those. I'm just saying whatever you're doing, you need to find ways to start to consume more water. Ideally, we need about 8 glasses of water per day, but right now I think we need a little bit more given the condition. So if you could go from 1 liter to 2 liters within health reason, because there's some persons who really can't, and that's okay. I mean, for me, I go up to 2 liters a day, and that is like by 4 o'clock, I'm already 2 liters in. So you really want to stay hydrated. Staying hydrated could have its benefit to your skin. It also helps with your organ function, and it also helps you to replenish all of this sweating and this heat and this moisture that is going to leave you over the next couple of days. We also want people to avoid sugary drinks. It's really not the time to be drinking the Coke and the Busters and all of these high sugar drinks, because what it's going to do is going to take you to dehydration faster. I know I've heard people say, well, I just drink a juicy and I'm still thirsty, because it doesn't quench your thirst. What it does is that it actually gives your body that reaction to go faster, because you have that rush of sugar, and then after that you're still dehydrated. So
John further advises persons who are working outdoors to wear light clothing and apply sunscreen.
Necessary things that they need. Sunscreen is important. People say we're black, we could take the sun, but wearing your sunscreen is very important to protect your skin from that outer layer component as well.
And of course, another tip of keeping those doors and windows open for that little breeze to come in.
Yes. I mean, some people would lock themselves in a room with a fan. That's not advised, because you're really just circulating the hot air. So even if you open your window and your door and you still have the fan, you're helping the cool air to come in and the hot air to go out. But if you're in an enclosed place with a fan, you're really just circulating that hot air, which could also lead to your dehydration aspect. I know I'm talking about dehydration a lot. So how do you know if you're dehydrated? The first thing is that you might get a little lightheaded, a little bit of confusion, a little bit of dizziness. You feel out of your normal. In severe cases, you may collapse. And that when you go to the hospital, they would have to give you IV fluids to bring you up and so forth. I'm not going to talk about urine, because urine could also be an indication of multiple things. It could be you're taking your medication and this is the color. It could be so many things. I don't want people to get scared there. So I'm going to start with the basic, the headache, the confusion, the dizziness, not your usual self. And we want to pay attention to those elderly people, especially those who are bedbound. Those who are in our homes, our elderly care homes. We really want to make sure that they are safe and they are cool. And we also want to ensure that our pregnant women and children are also taken care of during this time.
And the Ministry of Health will join other countries in the region tomorrow in celebrating Caribbean Wellness Day. The day is celebrated by CARICOM countries on the second Saturday in September as part of a unified response to promote health and prevent and control the epidemic of non-communicable diseases, or NCDs. John said that the activities to commemorate Caribbean Wellness Day will be held under the theme Power Through Collective Action, the care you need at work, at school, at home. The activities will commence with a church service on Saturday and Sunday and conclude with a Know Your Numbers health campaign.
Activities for the week, as I mentioned. So tomorrow and Sunday we are going to church. We'll be at the Amazing Grace Church in Annisville. That's for the Seventh-day Adventists, those persons who worship on a Saturday. And for Sunday we'll be at the Kingston Baptist Church. That's with Pastor Richards and his team there. So we really want to focus on the care you need at home. That's the specific angle for those 2 days of spirituality. For those persons who don't worship on a Saturday or a Sunday, we still ask you to tap in terms of wherever aspect you may want to just spend some time reflecting not only on yourself, but where we are today. And more so, try to make some decisions in terms of how we could better improve and so forth. On Monday, we're going to be just outside the ministry parking lot area there, and we're going to have a station that's set up for win a prize, exercise to win a prize. So we really want to target some of our children as they come down from their lunch period, and some of our public servants, and even past people who are passing by. As you pass, to do an exercise, answer a question, and you will win a prize. So if you're passing in Kingston on Monday, you can stop by us right outside the ministry there, and we will be there. On Tuesday, we're heading to Sandy Bay, that's in the Georgetown Health District. So we're going to be doing a community session, the care you need within your community, and we're going to basically be looking at cancers.
John explained that Caribbean Wellness Day is one of the responses that the regional ministers and heads of government made to tackle or respond to non-communicable diseases not only in SVG but throughout the region.
When we say non-communicable diseases, we're talking about diabetes and hypertension, those diseases that are not necessarily transferred from person to person, but they are influenced by your lifestyle and the choices you make on a daily basis. Of course, those choices are also influenced by your environment, your family setting, and so forth. So people from time to time would say, well, you know, everybody in the family have diabetes, so I get it from my family, but that's not necessarily something that is passed on by blood, etc. It is really something that is adopted from lifestyle and the way you live, the things you eat, the way you do your physical activity or lack of physical activity, etc. So all of those things contribute to that. So because non-communicable diseases in general continue to plague us, not only in St. Vincent, but across the region, and it's one of the biggest burden on our healthcare system and even on our finances, government officials, ministries back in 2007 decided that we needed an initiative that really created an awareness or bring to the attention of people that this is something that needs to be addressed health-wise, healthy lifestyle-wise. And so Caribbean Wellness Day came about. So it is not a strange terminology or phrase used in St. Vincent. I'm sure people years upon years, as I was a little girl, I heard about activities for Caribbean Wellness Day.
The Health Promotions Officer said that NCDs continue to be one of the top 5 leading causes of deaths in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and encourages Vincentians to practice good eating and health habits.
So a lot of these, as I mentioned before, can be delayed, can be, in some instances, medical professionals would say it's not preventable because somewhat inevitable at some point, but it can be delayed and people can reverse in most instances with medication, with lifestyle changes, etc. The thing is, the longer you take to do a screening, so we still have people 30-something, 40-something, and don't know what their normal blood pressure reading is, who don't know what their normal blood sugar reading. And when I say normal, I'm not just talking about the ranges that are in the textbook or that are referred by a medical professional. I'm talking about your normal. Because each of us as individual, depending on our lifestyle, depending on what's happening with our body, we have our own quote-unquote definition of what's normal. So somebody who's diabetic, what is considered a normal reading for them to control their blood sugar might not be the same for me because I'm not diabetic. So the important thing is that sometimes when people do these screening, first time you're doing your blood sugar and then your A1C is 11.5. When in a normal range, A1C is supposed to be 4.5. And at that point, people start panicking. For women and men, breast self-examination, simple as that. A lot of us are still not comfortable.
The Ministry of Education and National Reconciliation today joined the global community in celebrating International Literacy Day. The annual event, established by the United Nations for Education, Sciences and Culture, UNESCO, aims to highlight the importance of literacy as a foundation for lifelong learning, personal development and societal progress. The theme for International Literacy Day 2023 is Promoting Literacy for a World in Transition, Building the Foundation for Sustainable and Peaceful Societies, which emphasizes the transformative power of literacy in empowering individuals and communities to reach their full potential. The Ministry of Education is committed to promoting literacy and ensuring that every learner has access to quality education and the opportunity to develop strong literacy skills. The ministry said it believes literacy is a fundamental human right and a key driver of sustainable development, and urged stakeholders in education to collectively work towards a world where literacy empowers minds and transforms lives. In a message to commemorate the day, President of the Board of Directors of the International Literacy Association, Kia Brown, via Zoom, emphasized the importance of literacy in an ever-changing world.
Society that is constantly evolving, where technology and innovation reshape our lives, literacy remains the cornerstone of progress. It is the key that unlocks doors, opens minds, and empowers individuals to navigate through the complexities of our global society. Literacy is not just about reading and writing. It is about critical thinking, problem solving, communicating, and understanding the world around us. The International Literacy Association has long recognized the right to read as fundamental and inalienable. We know reading and writing enriches the lives of individuals personally, socially, and culturally. It is a right that allows us to participate fully in society, to voice our opinions, and to contribute meaningfully to our communities.
The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College said it will be kicking off the new academic year with an exciting orientation week from Monday. In its preparation to receive the cohorts for the 2023-2024 academic year, the college provided early academic advising to prospective students in the last week of August, in which students met with academic advisors from across the Division of Technical and Vocational Education, DTVE, and the Division of Arts, Sciences and General Studies, DAGS, to plan their academic journey and select their program of study based on their grades and career aspirations. The college said during the orientation week, which runs from Monday, September 11th to Friday, September 15th, students can look forward to an enriching and informative start to their academic journey with the week-long event featuring a range of activities designed to foster a sense of belonging and to help students transition smoothly into college life. The orientation week is expected to begin with a General Assembly on Monday, where students will receive a warm welcome from college officials. In addition, each department, division, and faculty are expected to set up information booths to provide students with a holistic view of the college, as well as the opportunity to learn more about the roles of departments, such as the registry and its services. Students will also have the chance to win prizes, including SVG-CC tuition scholarships. Following the General Assembly on Monday, students will participate in 3 days of divisional and program-specific orientation activities. During this time, they will complete essential orientation tasks, such as paying their registration fees, officially enrolling as students in the college, and meeting their dean, deputy dean, and lecturers. Students will also participate in activities that will allow them to familiarize themselves with the structure of the college. This includes a library orientation and guided tours of their divisional campuses. The week will then culminate on Friday with Let's Vibe, a Freshers Fun Day, which the college says is opened only to its students, faculty, and staff, where they will participate in various fun activities and kickstart their academic journey on a high note. As the new school year begins, the Traffic Department of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force continues to sensitize motorists and the general public on road and safety and traffic safety. Assistant Superintendent of Police Parnell Brown, who is in charge of the Traffic Department, said motorists are practicing dangerous driving habits, including the use of cellular phones while driving. ASP Brown and Sergeants of Police Wendell Corridon and Kenny Jones were guests on WeFM's Cop Chat program yesterday, discussing road and traffic safety, a shared responsibility.
They are taking up something from off the ground. They have their child loose in the car and they're trying to tell the child, behave. There's another serious problem that we have with motorists. I have seen where parents are having their child just literally loose between the driver's seat and the passenger seat, while two persons, the driver and a passenger, is occupying the two front seat. Mm-hmm. It is dangerous.
And they're going.
And they're going. Only when something serious happened, and they're going to ask, but what was the police doing? The police is doing all that they can do to sensitize and alert persons as to the dangers of while they're using the roads, and they're not adhering to it. So sometimes it's not only the public service transport that we're having problems with, but the private vehicle owners also, especially those persons who are transporting their child or children on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm.
On omnibuses, Sergeant Carden says their way of operation continues to pose a daily challenge not only for the traveling public but also traffic officers.
They will come down to the Richmond Hill area, and instead of proceeding into Little Tokyo down to the Leeward bus terminal, they will turn back at Massey area or at the Richmond Hill area. Persons will come to the office and report this. We are saying to the vans, if a person take a van from, say, Annisfield, and they say that they're going to the Little Tokyo, you must take them to their destinations.
ASP Brown said traffic signs will be placed in strategic places to alert motorists to help them keep safe on the nation's roads.
We are trying to sensitize the motorists as to how to use our roads and to make themselves safer, and to think about other persons who are also using our roads. As persons who are from the leeward side are aware that we have some road work being carried out on the Nelson Mandela Highway in the area of the hospital, where traffic is being diverted through Level Gardens and Stony Grounds. Motorists are asked to continue to exercise caution.
Contestant number 3 in the Miss SVG pageant 2023, Deanna Fairburn, sponsored by Play 4, has completed her community service project on the orange economy. Her project activities ran from August 28th to September 2nd under the theme Creativity for All a We. Fairburn, who hails from Lomans Leeward, told SVG-TV News that her community service project was a success.
On August 28th was a sip and paint, and then we did a mural painting on the Wednesday. On the Thursday, we did a creative session where the students came out to learn creative arts, dancing, drama, and a bit of art itself. So like creating paper flowers to like stick on their bedroom walls and so forth. On Friday, we had a food and wine festival where Vincentians came out and showcased their locally produced goods. On Saturday, we had a charity festival where I gave back to the community, the students of the community. Every day since I did the mural painting on the rocks, I have a lot of comments, persons coming to me and saying, "Oh, I love the painting you did. I have to go and take a picture by the wall, da 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 da." So, and also the parents of the students that I gave back stuff to, they came to me and said if I'm able to help them out even more, like providing books and so forth. So I reached out and was able to get some books to give back to them.
Fairburn said she is proud of a mural painting done in her community as part of her project, noting that while it was challenging to get it done, it was worth the effort, as it helps to showcase the creativity of the youth who are part of the orange economy.
If you take a close look at the mural painting, you will see a ballerina shoes to showcase dance. It has the face to do the drama part of it. It has a pan to showcase the musical side of the orange economy or the orange village. So it just depicts the entire creativity and performing arts side of my project. When we first did the drawing itself and started painting, rain came and everything washed off completely. So we had to start from scratch again. So I think that was most difficult, but in the end it was beautiful. It's beautiful. And that was the most challenging part for me because the painter was frustrated, I was frustrated, the entire team was frustrated, but in the end we...
Fairburn, who is now busy preparing for the pageant, said she was happy to be given the opportunity to give back to her beloved community.
It's something that I can see every day when I walk down the road. I'm able to see it and say, yes, I did that. I was a part of this. And the charity festival that I had on Saturday, reason being, I wrote down 300 things that I want to get done for this year. And one of the things on my list was giving back to my community. And being able to give back to the students of my community, I could go back and tick off that goal. So that is one of the activity that I hold dearly to my heart. along with the mural painting.
After 8 years of unwavering dedication, Sinclair Stapleton of New Montrose has achieved the pinnacle of a worldwide educational organization, Toastmasters International. He has been awarded the title of Distinguished Toastmaster, the highest educational level in the organization, which has about 280,000 members in 144 countries. The award was conferred on Stapleton in July. As noted in the letter he received from Toastmasters International, the honor signifies that Stapleton has demonstrated outstanding service and accomplishments in leadership and communication skills and has used these skills to help others in their self-development efforts. To acquire this distinction, Stapleton learned through practice, delivering numerous speeches on varying topics, competing in speech contests, serving as club president, initiating public speaking contests, and mentoring and coaching other Toastmasters and clubs. He also served from 2021 to 2022 as Area Director of Grenada with the mission to help clubs grow. Distinguished Toastmaster Stapleton is a member of 7 Toastmaster clubs in the region and has successfully applied the skills he has developed as a Toastmaster to his career as a sales executive. Stapleton said Toastmasters has given him the tools to succeed at life as he mentors others for success.